Okay, let's if since there's no other question, we'll just proceed with a very short flyer. We're going to do for a club. We're going to come up with the name of the club, and then we just look at the necessary information all together and move from there. All right, so let's look for sample. Let's just say club flyers, for example. Like I said, you need to make Pinterest your favorite ideation place, your favorite place to to look for ideas. They can see. When I just said club flyer or club Pinterest, about Pinterest, whatever. So I have this one here. So I like this one. Once I click on it, you see they'll start proposing models to me. If you look, they'll start proposing models to me. So because we don't actually own pictures, actually all these are AI. So if you use it, you have any there's no issue with that. They're all AI. So I'm just going to look for anyone here and use. I like this one. Actually, this one looks real. I think it's a real picture actually. So I'm going to take this one. Now I'm just going to copy it. You can download, but I'm just going to copy. I'm going to create my new document just like how we always do. Control N or Command N if you're using Mac. And then I'll go ahead and create my 1080 by 1350. 1350. And I'm just going to multiply it by 2. Let's show this by 2. Multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. And then I'm just going to create everything remains the same. So this is what I have here. Now I'm going to paste my picture. This is my model. This is the model I'm going to use throughout my flyer for my club flyer. So I'm just going to scale it in like this. Now club flyer is actually the simplest flyer to work on, so you don't actually need to stress that much. So what you can do is that firstly you need to make sure that everything blends with respect to the club. Also, you might want to change the background. I want to change the background. So if I want to change the background, I'm not going to use the normal quick selection because see this has first. So I think using automatic will not really work best. But let's just try and see how it looks like. So I'm going to click here, then just click here too. Select subject. Let's watch. Okay, we have something like this. If I click my layer mask here, it's not looking bad either. So I think we can go with that. But then let's look for colors. Since we don't have any specific club in mind, please know that these are all samples here that you can actually use. Even this one, you can use them. They're all AI. This one here, they're all AI, so you can actually use it without having any issue. But avoid real pictures, especially if it's going international. If not, you find yourself in a serious problem. All right. So with that, let me go back again. Go back and look for other samples. So I love this one. I love this one. So I have something like this. Also, let's just say we're working with Toxic Friday. So something like this, Toxic Friday. And this time around, we're not using the exact color. Maybe you want to make it something like this, and then we're going with Toxic Friday. So I have something like this. So let me just drop this here as well. Let's drop this here for our ideation. That's our mood board. So I have something like this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just create my text. Maybe let me just add the background first. Let me add the yellow background. I'll click on this background, add my gradient. Let me just give it any gradient and then I'll modify it. I'll click on your color stop. Have something here. Then here. Maybe somewhere darker. So something like this. Okay. Let me hide this so we see what's behind. It's not bad. Now also I want to also make this picture black and white. I don't want it to be colored like this. I want to make it black and white. So what I usually do is that I will just go down to adjustment layer. I'll come to black and white. Black and white. Where is it? Okay, here. I'll make it black and white, and I'll also click on top of it so that it affects just the black and white. You can do some tweaks here if you want. You can do some tweak to get whatever you want better. So I think with mine this is fine. And I'm going to also adjust my background again. I'm going to change. I think I'm going to reverse this to have something like this. Okay, let me have something like this for now. I can change later on. Okay, so with this, what I'm going to do is that I'll add a gradient overlay. With that, I'm going to change the foreground color here to black. Make sure that the foreground color here is black. change the foreground color to black. So I have something like this, black. So I'm going to create a new empty, I'm going to go to my adjustment layer and then I'll click on a new gradient. Now this gradient is going to overlay on the actual image, something like this, and I'm going to click OK. Remember what we said about masking. So I'm going to I'm going to select my layer mask here. On this gradient, I'm going to call this a overlay. Like this. So I'm going to click on this layer mask here, and I'm going to select my brush. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's affecting the face. It's touching, it's like covering the face. I don't want that, so I need to take it off. So I'll just reduce it. I'll make sure that my foreground color here is black so that it should hide whatever I paint around. So I have something like this. I paint around. Also make sure that maybe your opacity should be like 100%, so that you have it perfect. Kind of. So I have something like this. I have something like this. So with this now, I'll go ahead and add my text. Let's say there was Toxic Friday. I'll go ahead and just add my text. Say Toxic Friday. Toxic. Let me add toxic first. Or let me just say Elegance Friday. So let me use this Elegance Friday. Elegance. Let's have elegance. So we're going to scale it up like this. So when you say elegance, you know that first of all, you're funny to speak elegant. You get when you say toxic, you're funny to speak toxic. So funny to speak elegance. So elegance means that it's kind of tiny, not too sophisticated, simple and nice. So I think we can go with something like this. Elegance Friday. Okay, so I have something like this. Now I'm going to add a gradient to it. I don't want to just be done like this. I want to add a gradient to it. But then let me increase it a bit. Put it like this. Make sure that it's at the center. Okay, so remember what we discussed the other time. What I'm going to do is that I'll go to make sure everything's fine. I'll go to Google and I'll just type gradient texture. Oh sorry, go texture. Go texture. Like this. 1 minute. Okay, so I have something like that. Let me go to images and see. You see go textures. So you can see the different go textures here. So I can choose anyone. Let me say I want to choose this one. I'm going to click on it. I will allow it to load a bit, so I can have the high quality, because I need to copy it and then click on top of my text. Okay, this is what I have here. Let me copy it. You can download as well. So I'll come back to my text here. I'll click on top of it. I'll make sure that I go back to my layers here. Please, if you don't see your layers here, these layers here, always go to Windows and scroll down to layer. Make sure the layer is still. Mine still, that's why I can see it here. So I'm going to paste now my gold on top of it. It's my gold here. I'm going to scale it like this. So I have something like this. So I'm going to also clip it, create TP mask. Like I can take TP mask. So you have something like this now, kind of elegance. So you see, and so you have something like this. You get. And then maybe you might want to add some kind of shadow behind the text. You don't double click on the text and add shadow behind it. You can actually add some kind of size to make it blur. But if you feel like it's not actually standing out or it's not giving what you want, so you can go back again and look for that's glow sample. I think this one is not bad. I can also try this one out. Let's see which one again. And again, I want something that's really bright. I can stand out. This one too is not bad. So this one too is not bad. Let's try this and see. So this and see. So whenever you click on it, I like to load first before you can click. If not, you'll not be able to get the high quality pictures. So with this, let me change it. Let me change this again. I'm going to just paste it. I'm going to this one here, the first one, and I'm going to paste it. All I need to do is to drag it below. Then just carry it on top of it directly like this. And then I can turn this off, or I can even delete it. I'll just delete it. So now I just have something like this. Bigger. So I have something like this. So as I'm done, I'm going to click OK. So I have my elegance, whatsoever here, elegance Friday. So let me just add my Friday, or let me say, should I say elegance night instead? Elegance night. So I can decide that this night should be something else, not really the same typeface. So I can change it. Let me turn it here off. Turn the caps off. So let me change this here. Let me change the typeface. I think I like this one. Wow. So elegance night. And have something. You said you have something like this. The elegance night. I can decide to also copy this. Let's also copy this. Or I can decide to tap the gradient even from this. So let me add the direct gradient here. So I'll double click on this. Then I'll go to on nights. I'll go to gradient overlay. I'll click on it, and I'm just going to edit my gradient. Click how I want. So, something like that. Okay, so I have something like this. I think that's fine for me. Let me see if I add one again, I'll stop in the middle and then I put something here like this. So I think it looks better. So I have something like this. So you can take your time and rearrange it the way you want. You can even add as much as you want. Color stops here. So make sure they get what you want. Okay, I think so far this one is okay. I think so far this is okay. So I'm going to click OK. Now, so you have something like this. This elegance nights. Let me use my text again. Maybe I should try other typeface for this elegance and see. This is Times Roman. This is the default typeface that comes, the default serif that comes with your computer. So you always see it there. Let me just go to serif fonts, look for other type and elegance. Okay. I like this elegance. So let me increase it. Let me see, it's like the shadow is too much, so I'm going to turn up the shadow again. Let's see. It's not looking bad. So I have something like this. Let me change the end here for this night to be in caps. Let's put in caps. So it stands out well. Now the next thing I need to add now is just maybe if it's actually for plus 18. I need to click here and type maybe plus 18. Okay, for this plus 18, I'm going to use something like maybe let's say Montserrat. There's something like Montserrat. Let me change the typeface to Montserrat. Montserrat. And then I'm going to change it to white. You know that when you want to put something like maybe let's say plus 18, you know that it's something that needs to this time. You know that it's going to need to make it bigger, but again you need to put it in right. If you notice, most communication that has to do with maybe talking about one ish kind of source in right. I'm going to draw a red circle and put it inside a circle like this. I'm going to make sure that it's right behind it. Have something like this. I'm going to put 18. Just to make sure that this is for plus 18. That's just in case you need to include such. Yeah, so have something like this. Let me reduce the size. Okay, size like this. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have. So I'm just going to select these two. So the 18. I'm going to select the 18 and the ellipse, and then I'm going to call it to start object. I'm going to call it. Anyways, the 18 there is fine, so no need to change it. I'm going to put it somewhere here. And then now I'm going to put location here. It's location. I'm going to change it to Montserrat. Montserrat, you can use any form or any typeface, please. I'm going to use Montserrat here, and let's get it out. Okay. Like this. So we have something like this, right? Let me change this to, let me just say, say Boya will be junction, something like that. And it's too big, so I'm going to scale it down again. Okay, this is fine. Of course, I always increase the size. So this is it for my location. And then Friday, so give the date. Need the date, okay. Also, we can let's look for some let's look for what's there. So we have okay, music policy. We have the music policy. So who's the DJ? Who's going to be the DJ? Like that. So let's have music policy. Music policy. Let me see. Let's see. I don't have the edge. Next DJ again. So please note that this needs to be also stand out because some people actually go to club because a particular DJ is there. So that's something that also call attention. So you need to know what to get emphasis on. You need to know that you need to also know it. So that whenever you're designing, you should know what needs to stand out more than others. So I'm going to change this typeface from bold to semi. This font to semi bold. And I think I'm going to take this to extra bold. Yeah. Like that. So let me add an extra. Let me add an extra, maybe an extra DJ here. DJ Pico. So I have this here. Then push and then down the date. Let's put this other one again. What was there again? This one I'll put hide man. So for inquiries. Now let's put now for inquiries. This is our location. So for inquiries. So you have something like this. So like I said, these things are always very simple. So you don't need to make it difficult. You need to make it as simple as possible. So you have for inquiries. Let me just put this number. Drag this one and put it here by pressing Alt or Option to unlock. Let me change the number here to let's say 673 So you have something like this. This is going to be our number. Okay, so I have this, so let me just adjust it so you have something like this. Okay, so you have something like this. Now, I think this also add the date now. What's the date? When is the quest? When is it? So, date. One is Friday. Anyway, whatever. So let me just put the date of today, which is the 6th. Let's just see it. May. Sydney. Let's put all of this thing in caps. Yeah, something like this. Okay. So that's it. It's not that this thing also needs to stand out, so the date is very important. The date and the location are so important. Let me just increase it. Let me add emphasis instead of increasing. If it's increased, it's going to be like something different. So let's add emphasis on it. I put in maybe something like this. Here's what I have. So let's say we use size of not too much. They use 6. Yeah. So you can also come down here and change this to something. And so do something like this. Let me also use story. I think story is fine. Let's see. Okay. I think 4, 5. Okay, whatever size you choose, you can always change it later on if it doesn't work well. So you have something like this. It's not that most of these things, even today, are also minimalistic. So elegance. So you know what I'm talking about elegance. So let me see what if I change this thing to this particular typeface here. So like this boot and then change it to this. So what if I also change this to this? Remember, I'm talking about elegance here. If I change this to this. So I have something like this. And increase it a bit. So I'm going to select both all of these plus this shape, the rectangle here, and I'm going to adjust it here, put it at the center. This. So what happens? So it adjusts everything. So I'm going to select both here, always 2 and 2, and make sure they are also well aligned with the center of this document. So you can see that at the center now. I'm ready to go. So this is what I have. What else? What else do we need to add here? Location. So let me add my location icon. Let me go to Google and make my location icon. Yeah, let's just say location icon. We already have it here. Click here, just choose it. Choose anyone, please. Not choose anyone, come over anyone. It will go. Copy, right click and then copy. You can say it can take safe to download it, safe as to download it, but I don't want to download, so I'm going to go with this. I'm going to use my magic eraser tool and I'm going to get rid of this background. Now once I'm done, I'll commit to a smart object before putting it, because if I don't do that, once I reduce the size and I want to increase the size of the tower, it's going to be pixelated. So I'm just going to drag this and drop, and skip and zoom in like this. Drag and drop somewhere here. This. Yeah, so I'm going like this. I change this to maybe white. To maybe white. Something like this. So I'm going to make sure that all these three are all center aligned. Make sure that they're all center aligned like this. Almost. Select it again. This. I have to make sure that all centered aligned like this. Then I'll need to center aligned. Oh, I'm going to do this manually, because if I have to do it the way I want to do it, this thing, remember that two different texts here, so it's going to it's not going to be as good as this. So I have something like this. Then also look for icons for call icon. Let me just say yeah, something like this. We have something like this. Just copy paste. Just drag and drop here, and then I'll get rid of this white spot around it, this white space. Delete. So I'm going to change the color to white. Okay, did here. Convert it to a smart object. Now scale it down. Yeah, something like this. The bit. Okay, so we have something like this. What else do we need to add? Okay, I think we need to also add that there will be. Is it free entry? It's free entry. So we need to add free entry here. So some have more information, some have less information. Free entry. So some have more information, while some have less information. Please, whichever, just make sure you play around with the information very well. Now I'm going to look for a background. So let's go back again, and I'll go back to my Pinterest and look for elegance background. Let's see elegance background. Let's see what happens. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, I think I'm seeing something that I like. So should we go there? Like this one. It's also elegance background. I would like to just copy it here. Copy it here. So you have something like this. You just paste and then increase the size. You have something like this now. So what if you said to maybe put it along, so you have something like this. Something like this. Okay, now I have this. Let me play along with this grading down here again. Drag it off a little bit so that it fits here very well. So I think so far it's good. So here we have the logo of the club. Here is how you have the logo of the club. So our club name is Photoshop. So I'm going to look for the logo of Photoshop. It's here. Just something like this. So you can have the logo here or the club here. So I'm going to take down this. I'm going to take down this, read the opacity of this. Like this, take it down the opacity. Okay, now this is what happened. What if I decide to, okay, what I usually do is that I don't just send single design for a client. So I actually have like multiple of this. So what I'm going, all I will do is that I'll just duplicate this. I'll just go to image, then I'll go to duplicate, and then I'll call this, let's say 2 elegance. So now with this, I'll play along with this again. So I'm going to turn this back to the original color. I'm going to put any color value on any blending mode on the cell. So now with this, I'll just convert it to a smart object. Then to a smart object, and then go down to camera raw. And then try to sharpen it a bit. Add a bit of texture. And I'm also go to maybe lights. Make me put both the highlights and the shadow. Now go down to effects. Go down to details rather. Or the details, I'm going to sharpen it. I'm also going to include the noise. I'm going to include the noise like this. So you can see the before and the after. Like this. So let me click OK. So you can see it here now. So what I'm going to do is that I will add a little bit of layer around it. There goes and there. So now you have something like this. Blending and boost display a bit so it's not too much. Okay, so now I'm going to play around all these things to affect this background here. So I'm going to double click on this one here. I have this color around like this. So this is what I have. Let's increase the size a bit. So I'm going to increase this a bit, and I'm also going to take this to, let's say, 100% and see how it looks like. Just go like this. Let me just duplicate this so we have something like this. All right. So now with this, I'm going to change all the colors of all this from this to probably white. I'll change all this into white. So what you can do is that you can just come here and select all these things here and change the color to white. Color to white. So you have something like this. White. So I have something like this. I feel like the text are too small, so I'm going to probably break this into 2. I'm going to break this into 2. Break this into 2, and then I have something like this. Like this. Also, I'm going to increase the size of the corners. Okay, something like this. Okay. Oh, let's see one comes. Okay, now you understand what I'm saying, what I'm trying to do here. So you can actually play along to have whatever you want. I can decide to turn off this black and white that I did here to have my actual color. And then now this time around I can turn out to blend these colors together. So I'll just come here and add my this one I usually do use color looks up. So I'm going to use one of my favorite here is with warm. So when I warm it like this, I'll just come here and change the blending mode of this warm to maybe it's a color like this. With this color, I'm going to take down the opacity a bit to, let's say, about 60 or 70%. I see how it looks. Again, I think it looks better. So I can now use add my color balance again. Color balance. And with my color balance, I'm trying to make it look like that elegance that we're talking about, so something like this. So just know that royal blue, purple, they're all elegance color. So when you're playing around with that, with your color balance, you need to put that into consideration. Then how whenever you're shifting to, they have something like this. Something like this. So once you're done, you can output again. Let me play around also with the curve and see. I'm just going to take this here. So what I usually do with my curve, then just close here in the middle like this. And then once I'm done now, I'll do the general. So up here is usually let me change it to white so I can have the color here. Remember this is our logo lights. This is our logo lights. So I'm going to group all of this together, and we usually do, and I'll convert it to a smart object, and I'll go to filter again. Filter. Now this filter, you already know what we need to do. So first thing we need to sharpen it a little bit again, and then you can play around with the lights and the shadow. But if everything is okay, please don't need touching this. So once you're done, you need to maybe emboss a bit, just a bit, and then maybe here I don't take this lines too much. And now so what do you need to do? Just go to effect and then include the vignettes so that it actually blends the edges a bit, makes it nicer. So you have something like this. So once you're done, click OK. And then add the clarity a bit. So once you're done, I'll click OK. So you have something like this now as a profile. So you can choose to add a bottle of champagne, add whatever you need to add, but all of them remain the same. Okay, so you don't understand how to change the color of the icon. So let me do that again. Let me see what's the color of the icon here. Let me drag and drop any icon. Here, let me drag and drop this for example. So what I'm going to do is that once I copy and I paste, yes, I'm answering your question, Isa. As I drop and paste, what I do is that I will just take my eraser tool. When I click on my eraser tool, I will right click and take magic eraser. With my magic eraser, I don't need to click where I need to eliminate. So I'm just click here, eliminate all the ones that are there. I will zoom it again, click on these other ones and take it off. Now once everything is off, I have just the black icon here. I'm going to double click on it, then I'll click on color overlay. Once I click on this color overlay, now I can give it any color that I want. Any color that I want, be it red, white, whatsoever. I give it any color of my choice. So once I'm done, I'm going to click OK and OK here. So that's how you change the color of any icon in your design. So you see it here. All right, let me know if that's okay. Any other question, please? At least that shows that somebody was following. Please let me know if there's any other question. Any other question? Ask any question with regards to, yes, I said you can go ahead.
Okay, please. I equally do not understand the concept, like how you insert two gradient or like about three for the previous class, like about three gradient on the same page. Then this one maybe being up, this one being down, this one beside, and stuff like that.
Three gradient. How do
Yes. Like for example, on this flyer now, down here you have the black. You inserted a black gradient, right?
This one.
Black and something. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then which other one again?
And then behind it now there is another gradient.
Okay, you just need to just like add the first one. That's how you add the second one. It's very simple.
Yeah. Yes, but like it not affect the entire work.
Okay, now this is what happened, right? Let me explain how this gradient works. Thank you for that question. So if let's say I add a new gradient here, right? Click here. I just want to add a new gradient. Now once I click and to add a new gradient, this is what happened. Okay, but you must see the change. Let me turn this off. Okay, let me add a new gradient. Let me just add it up here so it covers everything. So if I add a new gradient here like this, right? By default, if you notice, if I click inside here, you see here is it's kind of transparent. It's not bold, like it's not color. The colors here is transparent. How do you know that it's transparent? If I click here, you see the opacity here is 0. If I click on this icon here, on this opacity stop here, the value here is 0. So if I don't want this to be 0, I can just put it at 100%. You see, if I put it at 100%, it covers everything. So by default, it's always 0. So that's why it's affecting. Now, if I click here, for example, the opacity color stop here, look at it. It's here, the opacity here is 100%. So that's why if you look at it, it's down here is 100%. That's why you're seeing here covering all these parts down here. But up here is empty. Because when it's moving up, the value here becomes 0. The opacity here becomes 0. Just like you have two things, and then you have one thing, and then at the beginning is 100%, and at the end it's like 0. So it like blends through. I don't know if you understand. So by default, you always have something like this. But then, if you want it to all of them to be, full, I can just select anyone here, have something like this. So now see, if I click here, look at the opacity value here is 100%. If I click here, the value here is still 100%. You understand? So now if I take down the opacity here to 0, it becomes like the one that we saw earlier on. You understand? So that's how this thing is. That's how gradient works. So by default, you can always have it as 0, or 100%. So the opacity here refers to the intensity, like the visibility of that particular color. You can always give it any percentage. Now the location here refers to wherever the color stop is. For example, if I move it like this, you see that it's going to be the location is changing. Let's say if I put 50, it's going to put at the center like this. If I put 100, you have something like this. So that's it. I don't know if that's okay. Does it make sense? Please let me know.
Yes, it's making a little bit of sense, but just that it's seeming hard for me to digest.
Okay, probably means they need to go through all over again. So just know that with the gradient, right? Whenever you add the gradient, you can actually remove the opacity of a particular color. Remember, a gradient is simply a mixture of two or more colors. You get, for example, here you have black and white. That's why it's a gradient. If it was just a solid color, you don't have you don't have something like this. It's a gradient, so meaning it's a mixture of two or more colors. So by like this one here has just 2 colors. So now you might want to turn down the opacity of a particular color. Maybe let's say you want to turn down the white color here. The opacity of this white color. All you need to do is to click on this, the one at the top here, and then turn down the opacity. Let's say 0. For example, now you have something like this. You get. And then now you can also decide to change the color here, double click and change the color of this one down here to any other color of your choice, like this. And so that's how you can do it. I don't know if I'm answering your question about if I answer the question.
Yes, sir. But please say, okay, there when you are now putting it only, let's say for maybe you want it to be down like what you just did now. So what you have to do is that you just manipulate the first color, whether it's palette or whatsoever. You just insert there and put it to be at 100 and put it to be at maybe less than 100 or at 0.
Yes, exactly. But again, note that with that, right, you can also as well change the direction of the gradient. It's not like say by it's not also going to be down. Just like I wanted it to be down. If I want to change the direction, let's say top right, I can just simply click on reverse here. If you click on reverse, see it reverse everything. So it's now moving from top. It's a linear, meaning you can either move from left to right or bottom to top. You can also move from top to bottom or from right to left. Is that okay?
Yes,
sir. And then you can also use the angle here to change the direction too. You see, if I enter 0 here on this angle, see the direction. And if I also click on this reverse here, see it changes the direction. So that's how linear works.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, I'm getting it.
Okay, so if you choose to change it here to razor, you see the same thing. With razor, you can actually move the things around just like with a linear, but then now this time around, you see that moving inside or moving outside. That's why it's linear. It's radial. So like in a radius, you're moving like kind of a radius in a circle. So you have something like this, or you can reverse it. Now if you reverse it, you're not going to see anything because the other color here is empty. The opacity here is 0. So you can put that. If I put it 100%, you're going to see it. So now you have something like this. Let me take down the scale. So you have something like this. So I can if I click on reverse, see, you can see that. Also, you can also play along with the angle. But with the angle, you'll not really see the difference when you're working with radial gradient. All right, I don't know if that's okay by you. If I've answered your question.
Yes, it's okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, any other question? Let me know if the answer to that question you should solve for. Please let me know. Please ask question. That's the only way you can understand better. Because I will not be able to say everything, but then if I ask a question, I can explain something better. Please ask your question. Okay, right? Any other questions?
Yeah, sir, please. Sir, please, I have one question based not regarding this class for today. It was one for the second class, I think.
All right, go ahead.
So when it comes to inserting shapes, let's say for instance when we're doing restaurant flyer, and then there was the second assignment, the flyer had a circle where you had a plate of food, then the circle now has a shadow below it, like it is reflecting below it, and again beside it there is a half circle. I tried doing it, but I could not have the shadow behind the circle, the plate of food, and obviously with the half circle beside. I don't know if you can remember it.
I cannot really remember very well, but let's try something. Let me just get a new document just to have something like this. Make it by default to have something like this. Okay, now let's say we have our circle like this. So we have our circle like this, right? We draw something like this. Let's just give it okay. I think this color is fine, it's visible enough. So we have something like this, right? Now, what if you want to create a shadow around it? That's the way you can do this. What I usually do is that I'll add an empty layer here on top of or below my shadow. Add an empty layer like this, and then I'll call it. Please increase the size of your screen. It's not big enough. Is it okay like this, please? Let me know. All right. So what I'm going to do that I'll add an empty layer by clicking on this one here. So I'm going to call this shadow. I'm going to call this shadow. Now with the shadow, what I will do is that I will select my brush tool, and I'm also going to change the brush size here. I also make sure that the brush hardness is at 0, and I increase the brush size to whatever I want. Let me check. I think this one is fine like this. I also make sure that I have my foreground color here is black. So I'm just going to click somewhere here like this. Now, remember I did this on an empty layer like this, and to create an empty layer, I need to click on this small icon, this icon here. So what I'm going to do is that I'll make sure that this layer is selected, my shadow layer is selected, and I'll press Ctrl T on my keyboard. With the Ctrl T on my keyboard, I'll just click and drag down like this to create this kind of shadow. So I have something like this, and I can increase it how I want, like this. I'll put it like this. So now it looks like this circle is standing on something. So I can actually change the blending mode to, let's say, multiply. You get? So now I have something like this. Let's say if I want to add a plate of rice or a plate of whatever. Let me just say rice. Fried rice. Let's say fried rice. Say fried rice. Like this. Let's look at fried rice. Okay, let's just choose anyone. Let's just go with this one. I'm allow it to load. So we have something like this. So I'll just copy it and bring it here. Place it here. Okay, so I have something like this. So I'm going to clip it inside the shape. Okay, the clipping might inside. So I'm going to scale it up like this. Right. So this is our rice. Okay, now you can see you're seeing this thing around it because I did the stroke here. I'm going to turn it off, or let me change it to a straight line, and I also include the size to before doing that, make sure that it's selected. So you change this to this, and change this to say 10, for example. Let's just say 15. I'm going to change the color. So this is what I have here. Okay, now I don't know if this is what we were talking about, but then you can have this. I can actually play with your shadow. I can play with your shadow. The other one that I did, let's say I want to duplicate this. I want to do something again similar to this. I'll just draw another circle like this here. I'll do another circle here. Now with this circle, what I will do is that now this time I'm not adding any extra shadow. I'm just going to add the shadow, general shadow, which is by double clicking and then going down to this drop shadow here, and then you have the shadow. And when you click on the shadow, make sure that the default color here is black, and then make sure that your blend mode is on multiply always for shadows, please. And then every other thing you can also tweak this with regards to have whatever you want. I want to make sure the opacity is not that much, so it's not that harsh too. Shadow need to be soft. Alright, actually it's also depending. So I don't know if I've answered your question. I don't know. Is everything okay? Does that answer your question? Aisa, are you there? Let me know if I answer your question. Using my personal, so personal. Hello. Okay. Please, is there any other question? Let me know if there's another question before we can call it a day. Any other question, please? All right. With that, I'll drop the recordings. Once they are ready, and then we move from there. Please, if you have any question after that, just don't hesitate to reach out. I'll also answer that. So what's the question? Maybe you can tell your question. I don't understand your question perfectly. Maybe if you can just send me the sample that you're talking about. If you can highlight
like the shadow is not a black shadow like you placed now. The shadow was
The shadow was what we got.
Cool. Directly behind the main circle.
Directly behind the. Yes. You please send the sample to me on WhatsApp now. Let me go through. Can you send it right now? Please, can you send it to me right now so I will look at it? Because send me the sample that you're talking about. Can you even, if you can screenshot it even from the video and send, so I understand what you're saying. I don't understand actually. Are you looking for the sample? Let me know. Okay, let me check. All right, okay, I understand now. Okay, actually that's very simple. Let's say we have something like this. That's very simple. I have something like this. So let me just copy this one here. Let me put it down here somewhere here. I want to turn off this shadow. So what I'm going to do is that I'll duplicate this one behind this, the eclipse, the shape that you drew. I'll duplicate by pressing Ctrl J or Command J if you're on Mac. Now I'm going to scale this up. I'm going to scale it up like this. And then all I need to do is just take down the opacity like this. That's all. Turn on the opacity. That's all. Let me know if I answer your question.
Yes. So are you adding you duplicate the circle and just
reduce the opacity, increase the size and reduce the opacity here.
Okay, okay,
So
so
whatever
okay,
value,
so and then the line behind the circles,
the line behind the circles. Let me see.
a half line.
Okay, yeah, they have line behind the circle. Also, you can still duplicate again. Duplicate this, the one that is behind again. Duplicate it. You scale it up again. Scale it up just a little bit. Now this time around, you turn off the fill. You turn off the fill here. Turn off the fill, and then leave just the stroke. You can increase the stroke if you want. You can also increase it like this. Okay, so now we need to let me take down the opacity back to 100% like this. So this is what you have. Now what I'm going to do is that I'll take my pen tool here or any tool, any of these tools here, be lasso, polygonal, whatsoever. I'm going to mark somewhere like this. Once I'm done, I'm going to go like it's a path. Whenever you're starting to come back there, once I'm done, make sure that the shape is still selected. My shape is still selected. I'll call it stroke. Let me label it stroke so I don't get confused. Stroke. So I'm going to add an MC, a layer mask on it, so that it masks out the other one and leave just what I've selected. I don't know if you understand. Please note that you can always change the size of the stroke. My the hair is 14. I can change it back to, let's say 8, like this. So I can also change the color to something else if I want, like this. Please let me know if I've answered your question.
Yes, sir. Please, if you don't mind taking it backwards.
Okay, when you watch it, you watch it several times. The same thing. The good thing is that the video is going to be available. Is that okay? So yes. So again, okay. Now let me just take it one more time. I'm going to duplicate this one. This one here. This one I'm going to duplicate it. So I'll duplicate it again, right? Oh well, I can just draw another one. The thing is, if I have to draw another one, it's not going to be. I'm going to align well. That's why I'm duplicating. I'll call it stroke 2. Stroke 2. I don't know if you understand it at this point.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to call this stroke 2, and I'm going to take down the opacity back to 100%. Then I will turn off. The fill. Okay, I'll go back to my shape here. The fill here, I'm going to turn it off. I'll leave just the stroke. Oh, when they take it, shows the stroke. Oh, there's something just happened. So let me just take this up. Just take this up, and then let me put this back. Something in here. Oh, please let me just undo this back so you don't get confused. So, okay. So this is the level where we are by duplicating this same shape. So we're going to take it back to 100%, and then we're going to scale it up again a bit, like this. And then let's turn off the fill and leave the stroke. Then increase the stroke. The stroke here is 15. You can take it back to about 5, depending on what you want. Now this is it here. Let me label it stroke 2 so you don't get confused. Stroke in caps. Stroke 2. So this is what we're talking about. This is what we're working on. So with this stroke now, all I need to do is to select it. Take any the lasso tool here. Is always the third tool on your Photoshop. I want to click on it anywhere. So I want to cut around here like this. Around here like this. So I'm going to select around like this. Come back to my initial position, and then we just add a layer mask on it. So you have something like this too. Is it okay now?
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Is there another question, please? We move. So basically, this video is going to be available on YouTube, and also there's a masterclass coming up. We're going to go right deeply into all these things. So if you're interested, you can always reach out so we discuss about that. All right. So if there's no other question, we can call it a day. And also thank you all for joining today. See you on Friday, on Thursday, right? All right. So I'm going to send an assignment in the group, so you all do it and send before then. So good night to you all.